Space Force we were losing badly in space to Russia and China militarily. Now we're way in the lead, way in the lead. We have the greatest space capacity of any country in the world. So we're very proud of that. We need it. We need it for protection because it's a nasty world out there. We need it for protection. So we're very proud of Space Force, but they, among other things, they give you beautiful satellite pictures of what's happening in the world. And when you look at the Hormuz Strait and you see all of those ships, all of those people and ships that they want to get out or they want to get in, they're all over the place. They're like little ants, right? They look like a little anthill. And hundreds and hundreds of ships. And we have a Navy that is unbelievable. We put up, it's a blockade. It's a blockade. And you saw the other day where a massive tanker, this was bigger than 2 million barrels, a massive tanker was trying to run it, and the young captain of the ship from Annapolis, these guys are like central casting. You could put him in. I'd say something about Tom Cruise. I was going to say better looking than Tom Cruise and taller, but I'm not going to do that because he's a friend of mine. I can't do that. But they're like central cast. You could move them to Hollywood right now. They'd be movie stars. But you saw him saying, we have guns trained on your ship. Turn your ship around. Turn, and this is loudspeakers that go over the ocean, and they hear them from 2 miles away. Turn your ship around. Turn your ship around. And all of a sudden, yes, we are going back to Iran. We are going back. They turned it around. It takes 10 miles to turn the sucker. You know, it's not like turning around a bicycle. It's big stuff. And then we had the other one you saw from 4 days ago where they were going to ram we call it an iron wall. It's essentially an iron wall. We have such great military and great Navy. And they were going straight through. And they said, turn your ship around. And there was no response. Turn your ship around. Evacuate your engine room immediately. And you see all these guys running out of there. Now, they're 5 miles away. And one shot into the engine room, blew up the engine room. The ship stopped. They used tugboats, and then we landed on top of it. On top of everything else, we then land on top of it, and we took over the ship. We took over the cargo, took over the oil. It's a very profitable business. Who would have thought we were doing that? We're like pirates. We're sort of like pirates. But we're not playing games because, you know, for 47 years, Iran has been pushing everybody around. They're the bully of the Middle East. They've been scaring everybody, Israel and Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, all of them. They're all, it was the bully of the Middle East. I understand it. Bush made a mistake. He took out Iraq. You know, Iraq, and by the way, I congratulate the new president of Iraq. I endorsed him. I'm now in the business of endorsing political leaders from foreign countries that nobody's ever seen before. And we have a pretty infallible record. We've won a lot of them, but I endorsed the man because we didn't like the man that was the president of Iraq, and we endorsed somebody that not a lot of people have heard of, and he won in a landslide. So I just spoke to him yesterday. But the relationships we have relationships that are very, very strong, very powerful relationships, and I think the Middle East is going to be taken care of. We had a lot of conversations with the leaders. I call them the new leaders. I call them the new regime. You know, they kept saying, the radical left, where is regime change? Well, if this isn't regime change, there's no such thing. Because Khomeini in the first tier was gone. The second tier is gone. Half of the third tier is gone, which is a problem. That's a problem. Because we are trying to figure out the right one to talk to. We talk to one, and then another one calls up. Let's make a deal. But I think we're in a very, I know we're in a very strong position. There's the expression that we've all heard, or many of us have heard, if you like the fights, if this were a fight, they'd stop it. But again, their military they have some missiles left. They have some missile-making capacity left. We've knocked out about 85% of their manufacturing capacity for new missiles out. We've knocked about 82%, but that means they have missiles left. We knocked out most of their drone-making factories, but they have some drone capacity left. And drones are pretty effective, but we've also developed, in the meantime, you know, if you remember, the German U-boats were a horror. Nobody could stop them, and then all of a sudden they come up with sonar, And it went from nobody could stop them, that it was the worst place in the world to be is in a U-boat. The drone, anti-drone capacity that we have now is fantastic. They have new weapons, lasers. You got to see the lasers. They go into a laser, they just burn like they just boom. And we have that, and we have very special machine guns with large-scale bullets operated by a computer. And as they come in, it just knocks them out like it's amazing. But with all of that being said, there's still danger. There's always danger with war. With war, you never know what happens. Look at Russia. It was supposed to be a one-day war, and it's 4 years, right? And you see that, and it's really a terrible war. And it's a lot of people died. Last month, they had 25,000 soldiers, mostly soldiers, killed. It's like a bloodbath over there, and I think we'll get that. We've settled 8 wars, and that should be the 9th. I think we're going to get it done, but it's a rough one. It's a rough one.